What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining me here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live. Hey, we're one day closer to the weekend. We're one day closer to the NFL free agency, one day closer to the draft, and yes, one day closer to the start of next season. I think we're all still trying to get used to life without Detroit Lions, without football, all that. But you know what? As we have this little bit of time, we have a few months before the draft and everything else comes into play. I think we're going to have to also talk about some of the stuff that may be in play already for the Detroit Lions and next season. So we're going to talk about during today's main topic of the day. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they may be very, very forward thinking as far as how they constructed this team, how we got this team ready, and yes, why the Lions actually might be a better overall team next year than they were this year. And that probably needs to be a scary proposition for most of the NFC, most of the NFL, and we'll dive into all that during the main topic of the day. Real quick, before we get that the show rolling and going and get into the 5 headlines now, main topic of the day, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 12,900. I want to say we're 10 subs away from that, so we can help out with that. That'd be great. Also, if you would be able to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. We try to get every video between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. So if you can assist with that, that would be most wonderful and welcomed from you. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan or continental United States, give me a call. You see my number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let's have a conversation and see what I can do to save you some money, save you some time, save you some stress, make the process a whole lot easier. And you know what? Hopefully make sure you don't step on any proverbial landmines that mess you up. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get this show a rolling and a going and get into the first segment of the show. And as you know, that is 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's get them going. Coach of Lions Best Unit gets second interview with Seahawks. Athletic Sports, John Vaccaro with this one. We all know Haley's been, Frank Haley's been very sought after by a couple different teams. And yes, we also understand that the Seattle Seahawks have expressed a lot of interest in him. He's not the only one getting interest. We get it. There's so many different coaches or support staff on the Detroit Lions that want, or people want interviews, etc. It's just happening more and more. But hey, this is from Dan Graziano of ESPN. Sources say Lions offensive line coach Hank Fraley is scheduled to interview in person today for a second time for the offensive coordinator position for the Seattle Seahawks. This will be the second interview for Fraley and is believed to be a person of high interest for the Seahawks. Hank Fraley is somebody that everybody likes. I think everybody who's a Lions fan, offensive lineman, whoever you want to give credit to, they all say he is just the chef's kiss as far as offensive line coaches. We also know, as we've been talking about in recent weeks, just about every positional coach, assistant coach wants to elevate their career. This would be a significant move for Fraley because I do believe he is very sound at what he does, and I believe he could be a strong offensive coordinator. I have no doubt he's learned a ton under Ben Johnson or whoever you want to give credit to. And I think this, unfortunately, is probably a reality that we're going to see him, potentially a few other guys, still leave the Detroit Lions coaching staff. Doesn't mean somebody else can't step in and do a very good job, but I would also say probably most Lions fans think Hank Fraley is endeared by us all. We like him, respect him, and hey, if he does get the opportunity to elevate his career to an OC position, I just wish him well. He's done nothing but right for the Lions. Lions signed former Michigan wide receiver to a reserve/futures contract. USA Today story by Jeff Risden with this one. Hey, we all get it. Ronnie Bell, most of us probably remember him when he played for the University of Michigan. He is now a Detroit Lion under a futures reserves contract. Lions did sign a bunch of people yesterday. I'm not going to go through the complete list. You guys have probably already seen the list by now, but he was one of the ones of interest for sure, not just because his ties or connections to the University of Michigan and the state of Michigan, but because he does have some playmaking ability. It would be interesting to see what the Lions ultimately do with a former Wolverine. But hey, I think the Lions are going to be acquiring a few more players to add to their 53-man roster and 11 people on their practice squad. But you know what, with that, we'll go through the list, just real quick since we got a half second of time. Abraham Beauplan was added to the list. Kingsley Euclid was added. Jake Fromm, hey, we all remember him. We liked him, I thought. At least most of the fans. Deron Gilbert, Eric Hazlitt, Jamarco Jones, and I'm glad to see him come back. Tom Kennedy, man, this guy I'm surprised he never gets a shot somewhere else. Chris Smith played a lot of games for us this year, off the practice squad, came on up. Lawrence Strickland, again, happy to see him stay, especially since I do anticipate Ife Melifanu is probably not returning to the Detroit Lions. Stanley Thomas, Oliver, and Isaac Ukwu are all back to that contract. So, hey, good for them. Good for the Lions. Already forward thinking as we get ready for next season. All right, outlook of injured Detroit Lions heading into 2025 season. Story by Jimmy Lotto, MD, USA Today. Hey, we get it. Lions had some injuries. Let's real quick see what the MD had to say about them all. And Jimmy says players who may not be ready for game one, and I think most of these we would agree. Lee McNeil tore his right ACL December 5th, signed through 2025. He's probably coming back, according to the good doctor, somewhere around November. And I would say that's probably about correct. Could be a little bit sooner, a little bit later, but we get it. He's going to miss a good chunk of the season. Malcolm Rodriguez tore his ACL November 28th, entering the final year of his rookie contract. Whether or not he resigns with Detroit, who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but could be back around October. Signed players who should be ready by training camp. Aiden Hutchinson, hey, we saw him against the Commanders on the field, walking around. Maybe a little bit of a hiccup in his get-up, but it's my anticipation he's going to be fully fine by OTAs. According to the doctor, Hutchinson, who is already targeting a limited participation in the Super Bowl, should be ready to participate at least in limited fashion during OTAs. And I would say this, I think he'll be fully ready. Amik Robinson, left humerus fracture January 18th, entering the final year of a 2-year contract. Early reports suggest that Robinson would likely be ready for OTAs. Considering the break in the arm, I have no doubt, probably by June, July or whatever, he's going to be totally fine. Mekhi Wingo, another person of interest, and somebody we'll be talking about during the main topic of the day. Right knee, November 28th, entering second year of a 4-year rookie contract. The diagnosis still to this day is unknown with Mekhi Wingo. Assuming it's not an ACL, there's a good chance Wingo will be ready for the start of training camp, if not much earlier. Enos Rakestraw, hamstring/illness, November 23rd, entering second year of his 4-year rookie contract. Rakestraw may have been active if the Lions advance to the conference championship, so he should be a full go for all off-season activities. Now, unrestricted free agents who should be ready by training camp. Carlton Davis, whether or not we resign him, we'll have to wait and see. Fractured his jaw December 15th. He's probably pretty close to being able to return to full participation, whether he signs with Detroit or not. Kevin Zittler, we'll talk about him during the main topic of the day. Hamstring injury, he's probably going to be fine. Marcus Davenport, left elbow, September 22nd. My anticipation is he's done so and not back here. I've been wrong before. Derek Barnes, let me know in the comments section. Do you think we should re-sign Derek Barnes, or do you think he should be gone? Whatever you want to put in there, just let me know what your thoughts are. Derek Barnes had a right MCL, PCL with surgery September 22nd. There was rumors, if you guys remember, that maybe he could be back for the Super Bowl or the NFC title game. Obviously, that's not going to happen this year. But what do you do with this guy? Should you re-sign him? I could see the arguments both ways. His rookie contract is now expired. John Kaminsky, MCL with surgery July 30th. My guess is he is probably no longer going to be a Detroit Lion. Ife Melifanu, I already mentioned. Kyle Pico, left pectoral rupture October 13th. I would not mind them re-signing him. given that it's, clearly he's going to be a depth piece, rotational guy for us. If you guys got thoughts, let me know. Pat O'Connor, he's going to need a new contract. I'm guessing most of you guys want Pat back. If you want Pat back, put Pat yes. If you want Pat to just leave, put Pat no, I guess. That'd be easy enough. Kalia Dorsey, right tibula fracture. If you guys remember that nasty injury, December 15th. My anticipation is the Lions are probably moving on from him. Same with Emmanuel Mosley. Hey, we all get it. If you can get a few free $1 million for not doing much, you probably do that. And if they offer you a second contract, you probably do that again. My guess is Emmanuel Mosley is probably done with the Lions, let alone potentially the NFL. And no, I'm not going to get into that story. Leave that for somebody else. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. All right, moving on from that headline, let's get to the next one. New England Patriots reportedly targeting Detroit Lions Terrell Williams as next defensive coordinator. Story by Jared Ramsey, the Detroit Free Press. This is one I was really kind of, if it ends up happening, man, I'll be bummed out. And it's no disrespect to Aaron Glenn or anybody else. I just think Williams, I really like the guy. I think he'd make an ideal potential defensive coordinator if Aaron Glenn does indeed go to the Jets, which seems like that's one of the bigger talking points out there right now, that he may be signing with the Jets. There are some reports about the Dallas Cowboys. I think we all know there's some other reports out there he could go there, but I do think Aaron Glenn's ultimately going to end up a Jet. Been wrong before, though. Williams, though, we all were pretty pumped about him coming in this past season. I thought he did some good work considering all the issues they faced on the defensive line. It's really hard to assess anybody, I think, whether they did a sound job or a poor job. I think he did a pretty good job, though. Aaron Glenn, if he does depart, Williams would be one of the people, I think, in a limited in-house conversation to assume the mantle. But if he gets off of the defensive coordinator job over at New England, I don't blame him for taking it. He's trying to move it on in his career. All right, in the last of the 5 glorious headlines now, what's next for the Lions? ? Previewing a critical Detroit Lions offseason. Tyler Dragon with this one. USA Today, let's go through it. Hey, well, I think we all get it. This is probably going to be a big one. And we've already mentioned Dragon has got a bunch of different guys mentioned in there as far as what do you do with Carlton Davis, Zettler. We'll talk about Zettler during the main topic of the day. Carlton Davis, if you can resign him to a team-friendly contract, I think that might be a strong option. The other part of it is he is going to be a cornerback who's going to be 30 years old. So usually that position does not hold up well once you start getting to the 30s, especially if you want to play as much man-to-man coverage as they did this year. Usually you start getting around that age, you start moving to safety, and I don't see Davis moving to safety on this team unless you're going to have him take basically Ife Melifonu's spot. Then maybe it is a little bit of something. Zettler, again, we'll talk about him during the main topic. Levi Onwuzurike. I do agree with the Dragon here that I would be looking to re-sign him. The defensive lineman started a career-high 10 games and logged 28 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and forced 1 fumble while getting 13 quarterback hits. I liked him. I thought he did well. I think he is, I mentioned before on the show, I think he's one of the fastest interior defensive linemen in the NFL. I thought you could see clear development of him this year. And we get the first couple seasons, injured back, the whole thing, had to have the spine fused, all that stuff. And it took him then his third season to kind of get the body right, get it acclimated to its new reality, I guess you could say. But the payoff was this year. He did very well. If he's not going to be a Detroit Lion next year, somebody else is going to take this guy. I think he's just done too dang well. Detroit Lions agency preview, 3 moves to make. Defensive end, we all get it. Got to get somebody out there opposite Hutchinson. Dragon goes on to say that Ohio State's JT, boy, I'm going to kill this last name, Tumulia could be available at the end of the first round, would be a fit for Detroit's 4-3 scheme. And we'll get into all that stuff during the free agency previews, the mock drafts that will be coming up probably next week or so. We'll start on the show. There are going to be some options for the Detroit Lions. I think there are some people, Zadarius Smith, that will probably fill-ins while some of the, if we do draft somebody, kind of gets up to speed. But I do think the Detroit Lions are going in a couple of different directions on the end. Cornerback, not going to go into, kind of already talked about him a little bit. Guard, we'll talk about during the main top of the day. Other draft needs, according to Tyler Dragon, is defensive end, guard, cornerback. We all get that. Lions have 6 picks, which to work with in 2025 draft. First round, second round, fourth round, sixth round, and 2 7th rounds. The 6th rounders from Tampa Bay, the 7th rounders from Dallas. So, hey, Talk about you probably won a little bit on that exchange with Dallas for the 7th round pick, because you know what? Their 7th round pick is going to be a little bit higher. Same with Tampa Bay's 6th. So, all right, with all that said and done, let's get out of the 5 headlines now and get on over to the main top of the day. All right, main top of the day. Here's what I've got to say. So if you will, listen on in. This all makes sense now. And if you look at last year's draft, most of us said, man, just not a whole lot going on. I know there were some people even last week saying last year's draft, the rookie class, just not getting anything out of them. Man, it's an F, it's a D, it's whatever. It's just a low score. How about that? But I would say if we look back now, I think the Lions were planning for this upcoming season with that draft. Most of us in the chat, although if you have different views, it's okay. Just go ahead and let them be known in the comments section. Most of us would say Christian Mahogany is probably going to be a starter at your guard spot. It would be my assumption he's probably going to take over for Graham Glasgow. And I'm going to say I think that's going to be a massive upgrade. I don't remember who it was in the comments section, maybe yesterday, but somebody brought up a good point. Did Taylor Decker not look as strong this year because he had Glasgow by him on his right, basically, and he had to try to help fill in with him, which obviously took him out of position a little bit. Going back and rewatching some tape yesterday, I think that could actually be the case. It could be with Mahogany next to him. And again, you only get one game to really watch him do that or partner up with Taylor Decker. But Decker does look noticeably better because he's not having to help chip and et cetera. He can focus more on his area of needs on that particular snap or play. So Mahogany, let's just assume right now, he's a diamond in the rough. He might be one of the biggest steals of last year's draft. The fact that you got this guy so late in the draft, and I think he might be in Pro Bowl conversation if he holds up next year, does what we saw in limited snaps, a couple of games last year. I think he's going to be in the Pro Bowl next year, or at least in that conversation. So as basically a second-year player, limited participation as rookie, the fact that you got him in the 6th round, that's just a massive win for the Detroit Lions. Now you're going to say, well, Dan, that's great, but what about the rest of the draft? Here's where I think it gets interesting. I said during the show earlier, during the 5 headlines now, that we'll have to wait and see what Kevin Zettler does. He has talked about when he signed with the Detroit Lions, this past season would be his last season in the NFL. I'm not so sure anymore. If he does resign maybe another 1-year contract with the team, great. Then you know what? You might have the best offensive line in the league, and I don't think it's going to be close. You look at Penei Sewell, Decker, Ragnow, and now Christian Mahogany in there, along with Kevin Zettler. I think that line is just going to dominate people. I felt like I talked for months during the show that Graham Glasgow, it's no disrespect to the guy. I just felt like he lost a couple, not just a step, a couple steps. I also felt like he just doesn't perform well on the left side as he did on the right side. To me, when he looked at the year prior, he was clearly better on the right side. But Father Time is undefeated on all of us. For a second, though, let's assume that Zettler doesn't resign. I do believe Giovanni Manu will take over one of the guard spots. And you put Mahogany on whatever side you want. My guess is Mags will go over to the left side, and then Manu would go over to the right side. Manu is, as we all know, a massive human being, and he is incredibly powerful and athletic. If this holds true, then I think that Lions line, well, I still would prefer Zeitler over Manu. I think that Lions offensive line is going to really just power grade people, turn them into dust. I just don't see many defensive lines effectively getting after these guys and pushing them off the blocks, pushing them, out of the way to get to the quarterback, the running game, whatever you want to say. I think that Lions line starts looking pretty dang good. Now, could it be they do something else with Giovanni Manu? Sure. We'll talk about that when that happens. Let's go into the rest of that draft, though. I'll get Terrion Arnold. Look, I think by the end of the season, most fans would say, yeah, he deserves to be out there. He should be a starter. He's performed pretty well. He's clearly improved over the season. Rakestraw, we've seen him very little out there, but you could see where the Lions wanted to get more athletic at corner by adding Arnold and Rakestraw. Most cornerbacks, as we all know, we talked about it forever, just take time to develop, take time to grow, etc. Could it be that he steps in for Carlton Davis or somebody else, maybe takes over this nickelback spot from Brian Branch? That's all possible, and I do think you're going to see a whole lot more out of the kid. But now what this has clearly done for the Detroit Lions with this upcoming draft, free agency, etc., Do you really have to spend anything on offense? I don't think so. You guys have thoughts, let me know. But you've got your top 3 running backs. I think Craig Reynolds, whether you want to say he's the top 3 or number 4 guy, I'll leave that to you guys. I do think Vaki's going to be in that conversation for top 3 or 4. So running backs probably sound, tight ends sound. Offensive line, I mean, we didn't even mention Kobe Sorsdale, who's I'm assuming has developed enough to where they don't want to potentially let somebody else poach him because you know what? He was always one of the protected people on the 53-man roster or inactive throughout the season. So the Lions offensive line, I do think is going to be bigger, faster, more athletic, and probably stronger overall next year. Strength of the team, in my opinion, is going to be even stronger next year than it was this prior season. Wide receiver, you resign Tim Patrick, fine. You're basically holding water there. I think there is some interesting conversations to be had, maybe in some of those later round picks if the Lions want to add maybe another burner or something like that, a developmental guy to that offense, then fine. But this upcoming offseason, as far as the free agency, as far as the draft, I think you can focus everything on the defense, basically. Maybe one pick, like I said, on wide receiver, but defensive end, interior defensive line, maybe linebacker are probably your areas you're most going after. I think you're going to see a massive switch in the Detroit Lions defense next year, and that I think it's going to become far more athletic. It's not that we were unathletic last year, but I think you're going to try to steal some pages out of a couple other teams as far as how to generate pass rush, get sideline to sideline coverage out of your backers. We all get Alex Anzalone can cover tight ends, etc. He's doing a great job. Jack Campbell, year 2, showed clear growth and development. But if you're running this team right now, do we all really feel like somebody's going to pull the rug out from underneath us? I actually believe the team's going to be better next year. I think, whether you want to talk about Jared Goff and everything, I know there's a number of the fan base that, hey, has one opinion on Jared Goff after the last 2 games he played. There's another that say, hey, he's our ride or die, going to go with it. I'm going to say this. I think it's going to be hard to upgrade over him, and I'll leave it at that. Running back, we're good. Offense, we're good. Defense is going to be the big question. We all get they had a ton of injuries this year. We all get that there's going to be some guys that are free agents. We also get that we've got some draft picks and some money to throw around next year. Where do you start going with it? What do you start doing it? When you look at the NFC North, we all get you got to win the North to be worried about the playoffs at all. I think the Lions are going to be clearly better than Green Bay. I think Minnesota's in a tough spot. What do you do with Sam Darnold? I think personally, maybe you sign him to a 1-year contract if you can get him. But J.J. McCarthy's your future. You're probably trying to get him out there, especially in year 2, as quick as possible, which means he's probably going to go through some learning opportunities as a rookie. I think the Lions can use that to an advantage. Chicago Bears, yes, you've got a young quarterback. Yes, you've got Ben Johnson. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. I don't think Ben Johnson comes in and completely transforms a 4-win team into a 12-win team. Do I think they'll probably win 6 to 8 games? That's my way too early prediction, which means the Lions still probably win the NFC North for a 3rd straight year. All right, Duke Crew, you've heard me ramble on these topics. Do you think Brad Holmes really had a plan about now and the future when he made these draft picks? I get we all want him to get out there as quick as possible. Man, I didn't even mention Mekhi Wingo, and I did like what I saw him last year. How good do you think this Detroit Lions team could be? If you would take a moment of time, put your win prediction in the comments section. I'm going to go on right now, and I'm going to say, hey, we're going to win 12 games next year. That's my prediction. I think we still win the North. We'll probably lose a game in the North. The chance of going undefeated, does seem remote to do it once again. But, hey, we lose one game probably to whoever next year, and we'll go from there. All right, Duke Crew, what say you? Let me get over the comments section. Let me scroll to the top of the screen. You're going to have to give me a second. Got to scroll through a few comments, and we'll burn through these. All right, still scrolling. Still going. I'm in a foot race. I see the end zone. I see the end line. I'm diving for it. Might have to dive a little further. All right, here we go. Rob, greetings and salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. The Lions are the grooviest, Daddy-O. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! What an offseason. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. I think we're going to have some fun with it. Rob, Chris Phelan, talking about handling turnover as a huge part of the culture. Yeah, there's always, every season, teams are going to change. Players are going to move on. Coaches are going to move on. People are going to retire. Front office people are going to do whatever. It's part of it, and you've got to be able to handle that and supersede it. Brent, greetings, salutations, Coach and Crew. Congrats on the Fruitport Pistons and my grandson's, quote, Jake the Snake Romberg on a great 41-19 victory. Jake had 21 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 4 rebounds. Proud grandpa here. We'll go enjoy it, my friend, and congrats to you and the grandson. Man Bear, good morning, Dana Rooney and Scooby-Doo Crew. Same to you. Detroit Matt, good morning, Duke Crew. just want to say thank you for all the hard work you put into the show, even in the off season. You keep the time moving for me when I'm at work. Hey, man, hopefully you have a good time at work, and hopefully this helps make your day a little bit better. But thanks for the kind words, Matt. Johnny L., good morning to all of you Duke Crew Mannix, and back at you. Hookadoo, good morning, Duke Crew. Let's have a woo for the next season. Go. And you know what? This next season is one day closer. Jason, greetings, salutations to the Lions faithful. Do we really lose last week? Ugh. Press that button, a reset button, and try again. Yeah, I wonder if you go back and replay the game, how much different it would be. Unfortunately, they don't let you do that. So on to the next one, my friend. On to the next one. Marcus, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Coach Dan, my sources are reporting that you are in negotiations to be the new moderator for Bears Talk Live. Is this true? Nah, I'm going to stick with the Lions, my friend. I think they're going to be the more compelling story. And it's not that I don't think the Bears aren't going to improve. I think just real quick, I think the Bears are in a tough spot. I think you're going to add some stuff to the offense, but parts of that defense, which had been sound, I thought last year you could start seeing them wear down. I thought you could start seeing the first sign of age hitting some of those players. And that's not a good thing because now you're going to have to rebuild those guys, and it's just tough. Sort of like you saw with the 49ers. It's tough when you can see guys starting to get to that point where they're starting to go this way with their futures. Hopefully, for the Bears, I'm sure they all want me to be wrong. That's just at least what I see. Brent, laughing out loud. John King, good morning, coach and crew. I hope we have a plan. Close only counts in horseshoes. Correct. Basically, we are the last year's Cowboys. Hey, I get losing the playoffs always stinks, but to me, everybody's got their own views, man. You win 15 games. Here's how I look at it. NFL season, we made it through 18 weeks. 15 weeks of the season, I'm pretty dang happy because we're Lions fans that won. There were 3 weeks that it didn't go right. I get it. We all want to say, hey, Super Bowl or bust, but that's just how I look at it. I'm pretty happy with 15 wins. I would have been happier, though, with a Super Bowl win. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew, starting lineup, exclamation point. Can't say I'm ready to talk off season yet, but here we are. Wait and see how we replace coordinators. Yeah. And one thing I've learned, just because the next person isn't the prior person, doesn't mean that person doesn't have abilities, doesn't mean they don't come up with ideas the other person missed. So let's see what transpires. Trey, what's up, Duke Crew? Question mark. One thing I believe we can all agree on is that Holmes always has a plan in place. Correct. I think he's very forward-thinking. Last year's draft, I think, was more focused on the upcoming years than last year. But it's also a change for a lot of us Lions fans because we're so ingrained to think that, man, all these draft picks have to come in and just have monster seasons because in the past, when we had such little talent, that's what we had to expect from all the players, that if they didn't come in and overperform, then we were not having a good season. Thankfully, the Lions as an organization have improved to the point where most draft picks don't have to come in and do much for us. It's just, we've got so much talent on this team that we can actually spend time developing them. So wait and see what holds up. Jason, I'm pulling for Jalen Daniels and Josh Allen. That would be a fun matchup. It would be, man. It would be indeed. Clark, so what are we thinking about with this team's record next year-wise? I'll say 11 wins. Yeah, I'm thinking 12 wins, but 11, 12 wins, that would probably be about right. Rob, let's hope the plan is a groovy one. I like the way you're thinking. Marcus, crew, hit that like and subscribe button, J-Mo style. There you go. Drop a big elbow on it or dive into it. Stephanie, Hookadoo. Stephanie, I have an idea. You set up a roadblock on I-94. We catch Benedict Johnson, and the crew can tar and feather him before he leaves Michigan. Unfortunately, Hooks, he's already in Chicago. He had a presser yesterday over there, introduction to the team, him and his family over there. So, hey, good for him. I'm happy for him. Other than when he plays the Lions, then I hope he falls on his face. Eddie, greetings, citation. I think we are a more athletic team overall next year. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. Maybe that shows up on the D more than the O. 100%. I think the offense is pretty dang skilled, pretty dang healthy, pretty dang, right as rain as far as don't really need to add a whole lot. I think the parts you do need are already in-house and been developing last year. The defense is where I think they can have a lot of fun and really take this team to another level. Darcy, personally speaking, I hope Hooker is the quarterback next year or the following. I know people will hate this. I just don't think Goff is the guy. Hey, I get there are people that, they pointed out yesterday on the show, there's some of you that sent me messages. Goff's last two games, the Vikings game and then the Commanders game, just wasn't great. It wasn't what he was during the entire season. My anticipation is just because the contract he just signed, unless he really just falls on his face You're probably not moving on from Jared Goff next year. You're probably seeing him be the guy for the foreseeable future. But I know there'll be a talking point with a lot of fans this offseason. Johnny L., I'm still numb. You're not the only one, man. You're not the only one. I just choose to say, hey, what can we do to move on and get better from here? Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Thank you. What a day to be a Lions fan. Go Lions. What plan? Hey, the plan is to get better and to win it all next year. Benjamin, like the song lyrics go, quote, it's too early in the game, end quote. Holmes has always got something up his sleeve. We'll wait and see what comes of the summer and possibly a pleasantly surprised. Yeah, hopefully we're all pleasantly surprised. Marcus, Lions offense coordinator, defense coordinator predictions, Coach Dan and Dan O'Damas. Boy, maybe we'll have to do that on the Friday show. Try to have some bold predictions from Dan O'Damas on that. I'm on it, Marcus. Just the Goff hate will be real this offseason. Morning all. I think, yeah, you'll have some people definitely coming after him. Let's see, Henry Moore, I say get a young, fresh EB or QB, maybe. Could be. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. So who made who? Goff made Ben Johnson or Ben Johnson made Goff? I think Goff will be fine. Yeah, I'm guessing whoever comes on in as the OC, they're going to play to his strengths because you got to help your quarterback out. You got to put them in advantageous situations. The one thing I would say, for whatever reason, Ben Johnson we can all talk about the Washington game, the 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, whatever it was, where you go empty backfield. Is that really putting Goff in a good spot? And I felt like I talked about it all season. Every time they went empty backfield, I just don't think that's a good spot for Goff because you are clearly telling the other team, this is a pass. Hey, by the way, we're not going to run. We are going to pass. More, what do you got? Eccentric OC coach, yeah, could be. Trim the sails, dam the high water. Let's go Lions. I'm down with that. France, hey, Duke Crew, I am really liking the idea of an O-line next year with Manu and Mahogany inside. Our line could simply be massive. Massive, yes. I think it's going to be massively powerful. Christian Mahogany is not a weak dude. He is a big dude. And we all know Manu is tall. He's powerful. He's athletic. I mean, the guy played power forward in college. So for me, as somebody who's coached football and basketball, that says a lot about his lateral quickness, plus his ability to move and just be athletic. I think the Lions' offensive line will be a lot more athletic next year if those two are the starters. And I'm not saying both will. I do think Mahogany will be without question. I think you're going to be able to do a lot more interesting things in the run game to pull, trim, etc., and get out wide. Southwest line, let's flip and go Lions. It's time to reload and get healthy for another Super Bowl run. I know the haters can't stand it. We here for a long time. Woo! No, I think you're spot on. I don't think the Lions, people talk about, man, is the Lions window closed? I don't see it closing in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, beyond that, it just constantly depends on what you do in the draft, maybe a few key acquisitions in free agency, but I don't think the Lions are changing anytime in the foreseeable future. Marcus, agreed 70. Goff will be fine. The chance will return louder. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You know what? When he wins it all, when the team wins it all this upcoming season, man, just imagine how good that's going to feel for all of us, let alone the players. Southwest, hey, 70, good morning. Back at you both. Bo, in the Marines, you could always want your privates advancing in ranks. That means you need new privates. You always change but maintain. Agreed with that. Yeah, change is going to happen. Brent, I've been a fan since Kobe Scorsdale, but the needs to become a factor next season, at least a competitive backup. He's wasting a roster spot. Yeah, I think if he's not at least a backup next year, the Lions are probably moving on from him. 5 figures, Freddie. So what do we do to improve the D? Question mark. In your opinion, what needs to jump? I think the edges need to become more athletic and probably at least one very athletic linebacker. Nothing against Derek Barnes. I actually thought Rodrigo was better on the team just because his ability to get sideline to sideline, in my opinion, superseded Barnes. Barnes, I thought, was real good over the middle, good at rushing the quarterback, not as good at lateral quickness, especially on outside pulls, or if he had to help set an edge or maintain an edge in the run game. Eddie Moore, Goff was made in college. He still has enough to sharpen and temper. Let's go. I'll go with that. I like Goff. I think he's going to be okay for us. More Lions. Okay. Southwest. Stephanie might be the prettiest Lion fans. There you go. Woo! I'll go with that. Miles Mark, greetings, salutations, everyone. Same to you, my friend. Robert, greetings, salutations, crew of Do and Dan. Same to you, Robert. Brent, laughing out loud. Susan, Good morning, all. We still need pass rushers on defense. Hard to believe that's still the team's biggest need. It does feel like they've been working on it, man, ever since this regime got here. But you know what? It just goes to show how hard it is to always predict who's going to be good or bad. They've hit on a few. They've arguably missed on a few. Quentin, greetings, salutations. What's going on? We're talking about the future. Miles Meyer, watch Duke Crew dealing with trolls on St. Brown premiere this cold morning. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Miles Meyer actually has me in a better mood. Salute. Hey, glad that everybody can help you out there, my friend. So small. Always some trolls running around, Miles Meyer. You are not wrong there. Johnny L, 3 Huron Township. Okay. Oh, -3 in Huron Township. Yeah, I didn't want to say around here. According to the computer, it's -2. So that's, hey, stay warm out there. Marks, I got the refs, the Chiefs, over the Bills and Commanders over the Eagles this weekend. Hey, wouldn't that be something? At least we could say if the Commanders make the Super Bowl, obviously they're not slouches. They did something good. It stinks not being there, but I would also say most of us would probably feel a little bit better if the Commanders won the Super Bowl, because then we could at least say, hey, we lost to the Super Bowl winner. Patrick, I don't know what YouTube is doing, but I'm not getting the notifications for Lions Talk Live. A few of you guys have spoken about that. I don't really have great wisdom on it. Maybe somebody who's more knowledgeable about how to fix that can put something in the comment section for those affected by it. Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I sure hope all these personal problems get over with soon so I can get on with Detroit Lions football. Me too, man. Wishing you well. Hopefully everything is A-okay. Voltron Force laughing out loud, Marcus. Southwest, healthy season for us. That injury ghost is gone. It jumped in Ben Johnson's suitcase. We are free of Snake Dan Campbell. Woo! I'm down with that. And yes, if Ben Johnson can take that injury bug with him over to Chicago, that'd be great, because let's be honest, if the injuries don't happen at half the rate they did this year, we probably are playing this week. We probably are going to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, the injuries did happen. Bo, one thing about this time of offseason, the true grit Lions fans, the Duke Crew. Yes, 100%. This time of year, when it's the offseason, you figure out who's a more passionate Lions fan than others. Moonscar and Susan Scott agreed 100%. Need talented, younger depth on the edge, and also can't believe still our biggest needs. Yes, and what they do to address it this offseason. My brother Tim's already working on, watching mock drafts and stuff, and he's probably got more information about it than I do. He's been projecting, and sending me stuff on different people he likes, etc. I do think the Lions are probably going that direction in the offseason. Whether or not it's trading for Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or just drafting somebody, we'll wait and see in the next 2 months or so. Pat, I just log in and look for the show. Pat, yeah, there you go. Yeah, just log in and look for it. Okay, morning, Miles Parker. I can hear the Lions already roaring for next season, 100%. And I think they're going to have an even bigger chip on their shoulder. Patrick, anyways, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew. I never doubt that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have plans moving forward from the start. Every year, they reevaluate and move ahead, 100%. And there's a lot of people involved. A lot of people deserve praise. Miles Meyer, Sosa Long sure are. They acting as if we ain't used to trolls. No, every team's got them, though. Let's be real. Every team has them. Marcus did NEC Benedict Johnson's Welcome to Chicago video. That was fast. Man, it's almost like he took the bullet train on over. David, Holmes and DC will have the team ready to go, improve next year. Yes, they will. I think they're already working on it. I think we all get how passionate these guys are about their jobs. We see Dan Campbell on the mic more, so we probably resonate with him more. Brad Holmes, when he's on the mic or the camera, it's not as often, so we don't see him as often. But I think one thing we agree with both guys and probably countless other people in the staff is they all want to win. And this is now a bigger chip on all their shoulders. Hookadoo, you got that right, Bo Booth, grit, 100%. Southwest, I got the Eagles running all over Washington like we should have kept doing with Gibbs. And Washington having no answer. Philly defense is not all hurt, and Kansas City refs will be beat Buffalo again. Yeah, the Kansas City refs, man. I should make a thumbnail for that. Moonscar, I wonder what next year's slogan will be. It takes even more. There you go. One step closer. Pat, let's see, Patrick, Pat Rock, I used to get all the time at the top of my page every morning, but for some reason it's not there every morning now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure really how the notifications work. Bo, we sure tested our metal this year. We did. And if you go back to hindsight, and you can have a different view than me, mine is the fact that we got those 15 wins, when you think about it, we were probably at win number 7, maybe you could say 8, when the injuries really got over the top. And the fact we kept finding ways to move forward and win, it's just at some point, we shot ourselves in the foot with the 50 turnovers against the Commanders. But you think about it, with all that being said, you still kind of had a chance. If the defense could have got a few more stops, maybe things would have went different. Again, I thought the defense did about as well as they could, given the circumstances they were within. Argus, I'm hearing Rex Ryan might be our defense coordinator next year. I think a lot of fans would probably be okay with it, just given his experience, given the type of defense he would bring. It would be highly aggressive. Not that Aaron Glenn wasn't aggressive by any stretch of imagination, but it would be interesting to see if that's where they go. Miles Margaret, yeah, Hookadoo, we got a core of Lions taking us forward. Yes, we do. Miles Margaret, Motor City, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila, we got the best. Yes, we do. Stephanie, next year, I believe we'll win 12 again. I'll go with that. Bo says 14-3. Marcus, Southwest, good picks. You changed my picks in Eagles Commanders game. All right, Southwest, let's have a great draft, get healthy, make some moves to get free agents and trade market. Go Lions. Woo! I'm back here with you. Big D, morning crew, back at you. Miles, Michigan Panther Pride, good morning all. Miles Margaret, morning Lauren, Michigan Panther Pride. Ken, good morning from Sunset Beach, North Carolina, and 4 of in of the fresh white stuff. Okay. Oh, 4 inches of snow. Gotcha, Ken. Gotcha. Trina, good morning to everyone on this Wednesday. Woo! To the Lions. And back at you. Hopefully, having a good morning in Kalamazoo. Let's see. Dale St. Brown Brothers podcast. Love Ben, but hate he went to Chicago. Reading salutations. Hope we get our coaches ready. Yeah, I think a lot of people are less than happy that he went to the Chicago Bears. Trina, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I know where you're at. Let's see. Tyler, Ben Johnson is a traitor. Benedict Johnson. Yes, indeed. Steve Hill, let's get a true run-heavy offense coordinator. Johnson was too pass-happy and cute. He lost to us the Tampa Bay and Washington game. Run the ball. Could be some arguments to be had for there. Let's see. Johnny L, -21 in WC. Oh, man. Stay warm, my friend, and keep a blanket, maybe an extra Mountain Dew by it. Henry Moore, executive coach. Big, better, stronger, more determined. Gosh, that was just my thought. Yeah, that was your thoughts. I think we're going to be. And, I know we haven't seen much out of Broderick Martin, Mekhi Wingo yet, but if these guys really do develop, Broderick Martin is a massive human being. If he could just be a rotational guy, I think it would be a big thing for us. Mekhi Wingo, he had some moments where he looked pretty good. Hopefully the knee is not a big injury. See where we go. Need to target players that aren't injury prone. I'd be down with that. Damien, good morning. Dan and Duke crew, back at you. Exclamation point. Looking forward to see the Bears and Ben Johnson come to town. Someone has to feed the Lions. Hey, let's rough them up a little bit. Southwest Lion, it's too early to keep that negativity out of the chat. I'm over it. We lost the game. Life goes on. All grit and positive talk this morning. Let's talk about what will make us better. Woo! I like the way you're thinking. Mo, zero reason for all the passing versus the Redskins. Feels like Ben Johnson threw the game to get onto his new job sooner. Gibbs was getting nearly 10 yards per attempt. Goff proved himself a big game flop again. All that we'll have to talk about this offseason. Tyler, best ability is availability. Yes, you are right. Brian, I think next season is going to surprise everyone. The hunger has grown. Exclamation point. Go Lions forever and a day. Always forward, never backwards. I like the way you're thinking. Lansing JP, this is a great thing to see our coordinators. Yes, landing coaching gigs. Yeah, good for them. Good for them. Brent didn't Frank say he didn't want to play anymore. Is Hank Fraley is gone? That's concerning. We don't know for sure if he's gone, but he's definitely getting the second interview. And as far as Zettler, I do think Zettler did make a statement that this would be his last year. Whether or not that ends up being true, we'll have to wait and see. Miles Bar, other coaches being eyed, the upcoming open position on the Lions. Yeah, I think the Lions would be, I think, an ideal landing spot for a lot of different people. If you're an offensive coordinator, you look at the Lions, everything they have on the O-line, the quarterback, the receivers, running backs, etc. You're probably salivating at the idea of working with that talent. Tyler, Dave Montgomery was used wrong. Gibbs should have been in the game to start. I agree with you there. I think a lot of us do. Lansing JP, I'm happy for them fellows. It's an exciting time to see who will fill into the positions with. Yeah, 100%. Tyler, and on the fumble, Dave Montgomery went out wide, made no sense. Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that either, man. Lansing JP, Lions, yes, the Lions can still win with Goff, exclamation point. He had an excellent year, just a couple of bad games. Houston, Washington, just hand the rock to Gibbs, 22 plus carries a game. I would think that's probably what they're going to look to do. Marcus, I heard the Lions are interested in bringing back former Lions offense coordinator Anthony Lynn, who is currently with the Commanders. That could be. I did see Goff and Lynn talking after the game, and I'm sure DC and Lynn are pretty good friends, so I'm sure they'd talk too. Mo, I'm going to have a hard time getting invested again next season, no matter how many regular season games they win. If Goff is still the quarterback, they'd fade in the playoffs. He's worthless in the postseason. All right, we'll go with that. Don, just give Hank Fraley the offensive job. Jeesh, offensive coordinator job. It could be what they end up doing. You never know, Don. Lansing JP, we needed this. This just wasn't our year. This was year 2. We have at least a handful of playoff seasons in front of us. I'll go with that. Yeah, I'll go with that, JP. K ain't pressed. Bears and Commanders fans was just in Amarad chat trolling saying Super Bowl window is closed because we lost Ben Johnson in the AG. We'll see, man. I mean, people can say whatever. It's just what comes to pass. I actually think this is a great, the way I'm wired, I look at this as a great opportunity to actually advance the team. It's not that you weren't good with those guys, but could somebody else, an outsider's perspective, come in and go, hey, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Maybe they can see stuff the other guys couldn't see because they've been here for a few years and just, kind of get into a norm. Don, please, no to Lynn. Okay. Brent, Don Burr, agreed. Tyler, trade Goff and sign Justin Fields. You got to get somebody to be willing to trade for Goff. And, who knows, man? We'll see what they do. Lansing JP, all the nastiness, sum of one pride was giving Ben Johnson. It's just poor taste. He did great things for the Detroit Lions these last few years. Exclamation point. Now we just need to kick his butt twice a season. I'm down with that. Tyler, run the RPO. Okay. Lansing JP, Goff is our quarterback. Correct. Tyler, or draft Jaden Morrow. There was a report. Was it Joe Milton? The Lions might try to sign this offseason. Joe Milton. I mean, we'll see if they actually sign a quarterback this offseason. Lansing JP, he is still learning and gaining experience. He is. Don, Tyler, trade Goff to sign Justin Fields. Guess you want to win 4 games next year. Okay. Here's Johnny. Goff is okay. Yes, indeed. I don't think he's hurt. Mo, Goff is propped up by the team around him. He doesn't elevate the team. All right. Big D. No way to Mill Road keep Hooker. Okay. Tyler, need a running quarterback. We'll see. Goff did run more this year than he ever has before. I guess there's that. C times C. Bears head coach was Lions OC last Saturday and called the worst game possible. I know there are a lot of people speculating on that. Mark Curtis, I agree, Lansing. The Johnson hate is some snowflake stuff, okay? Johnny L, Goff E, Big D. Fields would be a great addition, but not for Goff, okay? Lansing JP, Goff had an excellent season. Who do you think we can really replace his production with? That'd be the big question. I mean, I know sometimes as fans, we always say, man, get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy. Like when Vildor would come in. We all wanted, Terrion Arnold out of the lineup at one point, and then Vildor comes in, and now we want Arnold back, or Vildor comes in, and we're like, man, put in this player, put in that player. We have to remember the coaches see these guys all the time. If they think that's the best player out available to the team, you probably need to believe that that is actually the best player available. Farrad would say goodbye, Ben Johnson. Sorry to see you go. Good riddance, Aaron Glenn's. Never understood the hype about your coaching. Our defense was never good under you, and it let us down again in the playoffs. I'll go with that. Yeah, it will be interesting to see who they bring in to replace him. If you guys got any thoughts or people you would prefer if Aaron Glenn does go, who do you want to see be the next defense coordinator? Let me know in the comments section. Michigan Panther Pride, time to rally behind our Michigan Panthers in the spring. We'll probably be on there cheering them. Let's see, Lansing JP, there's too many options. One funky. Don, 4 games could be get a Manning, so maybe not the worst plan, but they are too loyal. I would agree. Yeah, and I know some people speculated about Manning, but, man, you would really have to do a tank job, I think, to get the number 1 pick. Let's see. Good morning, Vern. Good morning, Coach and crew. Coach, do we get anything from the Bears for Ben Johnson? Coach, who do you think will follow Ben Johnson? I think there could be a couple of people on staff that follow him over there. Do we get anything from him? No, we do not. Not that I'm aware of, at least. Don, Tyler, Ravens having running quarterback. Okay, yeah, the Ravens do have a running quarterback. Lansing JP, I'd rather we stick with Goff. opposed to starting all over the new quarterback. Okay, Johnny L. Goff is going to be even better, probably. Again, Jimmy Lulan, like meow with an L. Okay, Jimmy. All right, I'll go with that. Tyler, every quarterback left in the playoffs can run. Okay, Don. One funky that's tanking. You are not. That's Don. Not in our DNA. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna tank. David, re-sign Barnes to a one-year contract. Prove it. Yeah, they could do just that. David, Big D, Goff needs to get more mobile during the offseason. I thought he looked better this year, but is he ever going to be Steve Young, Lamar Jackson, Warren Moon, something like that? Is he ever going to be Rodney Pete when it comes to being mobile? Probably not. Lansing JP. Yes, indeed, Goff will be better next season. He just continues to gain experience. I'll go with that. Tyler, Goff choked hard. Maybe he did. Don, fix the defense, and we are okay. Yeah, I think you fix the defense, this team will be exponentially better. One funky Don, I don't believe in it either. Big D, literally put time into training his legs. Yeah, hopefully crazy legs Goff gets crazy. Dale, Pat, yes. Pat, yes, thank you. Lansing JP, Goff doesn't need to get mobile. Lions just need to hand the rock off to Gibbs for 25-plus carries a game. There will be people that go with that. Tyler, Justin Fields has high potential. Here's Johnny. Does okay win a Super Bowl? We'll find out. Steve, Pat, yes, I'll go with that, and thank you for that. Philippines on demand. If we lose Williams and Haley, those will be huge losses. How do you replace that? You find somebody that's hopefully just as good. It's hard to always think about who could be better, but obviously, if you watch sports long enough, you've seen enough coaching changes where you go, man, this next guy, we don't know anything about him, and that person steps up and does a real good job. Dale, Iffy, one more year, he's great when healthy. When healthy is the key. Lansing JP, their opinion, that's comedy to seriously suggest we get Justin Fields. Unbelievable. Don, Tyler, Justin Fields isn't good. Big D, I like Goff to be able to run 10 to 20 yards a game. It would help everyone if that threat was there. I would agree it would help. One funky, you're smoking something if you think Bustin Fields has potential. Don, Tyler is a Bears fan opposing his line. Okay, Tyler, how? Mo, doesn't matter what we think. Goff re-signed, so we are stuck with him. Yeah, I think that shows the team believes in him. Philippines, if the Jets hire AG, Lions get 2/3 around compensatory picks. One this year and one the following in 2026. I'm sure you read about that too. Yeah, I do know with Aaron Glenn we would get him. I don't believe we get anything with Ben Johnson. I could be wrong though. Lansing JP, does giving up 28 points in the second quarter win Super Bowls? No, it doesn't. Detroit Lions will be a scary team in 2025. I think you're right. I think we will be a scary team. Hoogadu, yeah, that's strong. No Justin Fields. Okay, Lansing JP will have a defense. Let's hope so. Lansing Justin Fields, sheesh. Tyler, won't win a Super Bowl with Goff. Okay, Lansing JP, just say no ball. Okay, Fields, laughing out loud. Lansing JP, the man couldn't even start over Russell Wilson. Tyler, don't get the hate on Justin Fields. JP, I'd rather ride with Goff 100%, someone who already made a Super Bowl. JK, Justin Fields to Detroit is a doesn't matter, nothing fun change anyways. All right. Gary, greatest citations in the history of the NFL, only 5 teams have lost both coordinators in the same season. Combined record of the teams next year is 57-23-1. Lions will be just fine and maybe a more hungry team. I think they will be more hungry. Correct. The Lions could win every regular season game by 50, and I'll still be against Goff in the playoffs. He's proven over and over to fade in the postseason. He did take us to the NFC Championship game just, I guess now you say 2 seasons ago, won 2 games. He did take the Rams to the Super Bowl, so he's had moments. Lansing JP, he's trash. He just has speed. That's it. Okay, one funky. Levi priced himself out of Detroit thanks to how much they spent in 2026. All right. Tyler, hey, Lansing, don't care. Dale, Tyler, mean you are insane. Question mark. Goff will get us to the promised land. Have faith. I have faith. Lansing JP, that's good if you mow. Okay. Rob, they took Peyton Manning a while to win a Super Bowl. Same with John Elway. This is very true with both of them. Don Burr, one funky. I want Milton Williams in free agency. Philly defensive tackle. We'll see what they do. Philippines, I trade Hooker to Las Vegas and then draft quarterback Jackson Dart. Old Miss, that dude is awesome. All right, I'll check him out. I haven't seen him that much. Tyler, Goff looked like a deer in headlights. Here's Johnny. Todd Gurley III made Goff a Super Bowl, then got injured, then he monstered up only 3 points. So, yes, well, it is. But do remember, Johnny, Goff threw a touchdown pass in that game that would have won it for the Rams, but it got dropped. Now, with that being dropped, Now, with that also being said, I want to say he missed Brandon Cooks going down the sideline wide open for a touchdown, too. So, I guess he kind of evened out there, right? Lansing JP Tyler will get blocked and kicked rocks, Buster. Farad, let's see. If we had even an average defense, we could have stopped Washington once or twice. Say what you want about injuries. Lions defense has never been good enough. No, it's got to get better. 100% there. I think we all agree there. Hookadoo. I think Don Bird is correct. Tyler is a Bears fan. Maybe. Justin Fields and Jalen Monroe. All right. Tyler, you want Bustin Fields? Philippines on a man question. Since we would get a compensatory pick for Aaron Glenn, would we also get compensatory picks for Williams too if he leaves? Ooh, that's a good question, man. I'm not sure. I just don't know the answer, and I don't want to steer you the wrong way. Lansing JP to claim Gurley single-handedly made that Rams make Super Bowl. That's comedy. I would agree with that. I mean, it's never one person alone. Johnny L, I'm comfortably numb. I'll join the group. Lansing JP, just say you know no ball. Okay, one funky Don. What is his price tag? Question mark. Lions have only 22 million in 2026 and only 31 guys on the roster currently. JK, there's no such thing as a top 5 team. All right, Egon, who knows what would have happened if Hutch never got hurt? Yeah, if him and Aleem are out there, it would probably be a little bit different on D. Tyler, yeah, I'm a Bears fan because I don't like my opinion. All right, Don Burr, if the chat says block you, Tyler, you're gone. All right, JK, top nothing in your opinion. Here's Johnny Gurley. Second was my winning fantasy football team, not golf. All right, I'll go with that. I don't know. Tyler, Don Burr, you're okay. All right, South Plus, block this clown. He's too early on the positive mode. All right, Lansing JP, man's talking about fantasy football team. All right, Philippines on demand. Don Burr, come on, Don. Don't be such a policeman. All right. Key, Tyler, don't come in this chat starting mess. Now you got Ben. Now you guys can fail together. Tyler, block me, dude, because people don't like to hear the truth. All right. Here's Johnny Trophies. Don Burr, I said in the chat, blocks him. All right. Ken, bye, Tyler. Blocked. All right. Thank you, Don Burr. Golf stinks. All right. Okay, block. Here's Johnny. Goff is simply just okay. Okay. Don, one funky Don. He's not being a jacket. He's just not smart. All right. Bears stink. Rob, what can I say? I'll go with that. Bo, I'm not interested in troll stuff either. Yeah. I'll go with that. Philippine style. You just put here to troll, leave. All right. Let's see. Rob, from the beginning, Brad and Dan have said they are building this team for the long term. We will be a contender for years to come, and I do believe Lombardi will come. I do too, my friend. I do too. Tyler, your goal is to get blocked. Southwest, then clown. Okay. Let's see. Tyler, you're all right. I'm concerned. 8th grade, more mature. Hey, I enjoyed 8th grade. Tyler, do something instructive. All right, we're going to try to move on from the Tyler stuff here. All right, Kurt, what up, dude crew? What's up, man of Steel? How you doing? JK, are we getting over 100 guys injured again next season? Let's hope not. Brent, I see Manu replacing Decker. That could be in time, or maybe they move Decker inside. That's also a possibility here. Let's see. And Mick Lyon, what do you got? I had my doubts with a run to the Super Bowl this year due to the injuries. 1 year is coming. We're not going backwards. Let's go Lions. Yeah, let's. I got about a minute or two, so let's get people on here who haven't been on as much. Patrick, I say another 15-2 season. I would like that. Brent, salute Kurt Steele. Oh, Bo, Wall of Steel. Yes, indeed. Here's Johnny laughing. Dave, 12-win season. I'm down with that. Trainer, 13 wins. Okay, I'll take that. Here's Johnny. Stoner throw. All right. Bo Booth, good morning. Let's see. Don Burr, 11 wins next year. I'll take that. Mark, I would love to say 17-0, but with the schedule we have next year, winning the North and making the playoffs will be tough. I would say 13-4. I would take that. Mark, 11 wins. Williams, I think Glasgow playing out of position really hurt us this year. Probably. Cruz, Dan Campbell is the best, is the heart of the team this season. He will find the right staff. I agree with that. McLeod, 14 wins, second seed. Brent, thanks. Miles Mark, Don, Glasgow looked old. He did. I thought he looked beat up. Ken, really hope the Lions bring back the inside of the draft room coverage they had a last couple of years. I think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't at least. Brent, thanks, Kurt. Here's Johnny. Mahogany is better than Glasgow. Okay. Drew, good morning, coach and Duke crew. Exclamation point. Great love for our Detroit Lions. Always, my friend, always. Mark, all but one of our away games are with the winning teams next year. Yes, indeed. Trina, if the Lions play as a team, they can win a lot of this season. If the Lions team just relax, you can off season and get ready for the new season in Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, I'm down with that. Moonscar, thanks, Don. Took my eyes off the phone to do some work, and it happens. It happens, man. Let's see. One guy, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach. Did the refs really get fined for our game? I'd have to check that. I haven't really focused on the refs since they're in the past. Egon Hutch still being our sack leader at the season's end is such an insane stat. We missed him so much. Yes, imagine what it would have been like if he had been out there all season. Vern, Coach, when we played the Bears last time, Williams said, "I can't wait to play for you, Ben Johnson." Well, how about that? He probably was trying to do a little promoting there. Johnny L, go Lions. Still a fan forever? Me too, man. Me too. I'm always a fan forever. Moonscar, but we will see what kind of true grit we have next season. We will indeed. Kurt Steele, the Lions will be fine. I think so. Looking for some people that haven't been on as much here. JK, it's not Goff. There's no scapegoat. It's fake Vegas. All right, I'll go with that. Johnny, I like Goff. Let's not give up on him yet. No, I agree. He's probably going to be your quarterback for a while, so might as well keep the faith in him. Good guy. Goff ain't going nowhere. Look at Lamar. It's playoffs best of the best. You can't expect to score 40 points and to win every game. Defense lost the game. There's a lot of things that could have gone better for us, for sure. David, what do you think the defense coordinator presser of the other day about him being more involved? I thought he was already involved. I think he will be involved more and more. Martin, Coach, I think 13-4 would be nice. Let's make that happen. One God, is it way for the NFL to stop teams from talking to the potential hires while in playoffs? I think it's a distraction. I think it is a distraction. And the NFL probably ultimately doesn't care. They're not worried about it if you can't handle the distraction. They're just worried about keeping their business moving forward. All right, Gun Guy, Goff made Ben Johnson. Could be true. Philippines, Bo Booth, 7-5, bro. Hookadoo. Are we not going to walk away from Goff? I'm a Goff fan. He isn't going anywhere. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Noma, Megan say all the way to the Philippines. Okay. Don, Southwest Line, he's going to just getting his staff together. AG is gone. Yeah, I would think he's probably looking more and more that way. Egon, Goff has a better playoff record than Lamar. I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but it's interesting nonetheless. I would agree with that. Troy, why wouldn't the Lions look at Fraley as offense coordinator? Maybe they are. Maybe they are. I just don't know if they are or are not. Gun Guy, Ben Johnson called a bad game. He did. Maybe could have improved upon it. Rob, -7 in Lapeer this morning. Stay warm, my friend. James Dean, keep building our team with talent, and it will be fine, much stronger next season. I agree with that. Happy Rock, good morning. All a little chilly in the UP. Stay warm. Alex, for you guys, I think the regular season doesn't mean anything next year. I think you might go 10-7 and then probably reach the NFC title game once again. Hey, I would take that. We get the title game, win it, and get to the Super Bowl. I think we'll all be happy about it. All right, William, even though Ben Johnson was good, he still made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I'll go with that. Nobody's perfect, for sure. James, defense wins championships. Need a pass rush. If you're going to have a chance, need defensive line, defensive end, interior defensive line, linebacker depth. Okay? Wilstein, we were -5 here near the mixing bowl. Burr, it's cold in the D. Stay warm, my friend. All right, looking for a few more here, then I'm out of here. Courtney, Mason Graham, Michigan defense tackle. I think he would be a player of interest. Mr. Stats, there is no doubt that this team will be better next year they were than this year. The only problem is with that, it doesn't guarantee anything. No, it doesn't guarantee anything. You still got to win. My prayers are for all the homeless this morning out there in the cold. Yeah, I agree with that, especially homeless vets. As you know, too many vacant homes and buildings for this need to do something. We'll see what they do. Chuck E. Cheese, good morning, Coach and Dooku. Lions will be ready. I think so. And good to see you, man. It feels like it's been a minute since I've seen you. Ken, 328 viewers. Come on, people, hit that like button. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don's Burr, Southwest Lions, facts. Keith, sorry, off topic. It happens, man. It happens. Let's see, James, no more drafting project players with first and second round day picks. Need players now who can contribute when needed. I'll go with that. Don Burr, Dan Campbell and Rex Ryan would mix in a locker room to me. When it mixed in the locker room, yeah, correct. All right, Chris Steele, today's show is taking a while to upload. Boss Up will premiere at 9 a.m. Thank you for that heads up. Ken, Rex is a big Dan Campbell fan, probably. Southwest line, Don Burwell, it seems to have better success stopping off offense than most other teams. Okay. Don Burr, Southwest line, I can agree with that. I really didn't know what to think as far as defense coordinator. We'll find out what they do. Jerry, Southwest line, absolutely, we need a different scheme on defense. With the new, whoever's going to take over, you're probably going to get a different scheme for sure. Let's see, Ken would hope most coaches here first preference would be to stay here. You would hope so, but people are going to move on. Harold, good to see you. Harold, it's been a minute. Lions want the Super Bowl. They have to get together as be a team. I agree with that. They have to play as a team. So let's bring back Anthony Lynn. Question mark, please know why. All right, Brent, no. Okay, do. I heard it snowed down that way, Kurt Steele. I think all over the place. Southwest line, Dan, I'm with you. I view this turnover as an opportunity, not as gloom and doom situation. Just need to find good people to replace Ben Johnson and AG. Yes, I agree. We'll see what they do. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Hopefully having a great one. Ryan, Ben Johnson is the one who chokes in the big games. Glad he's gone. He would choke in Chicago too. We'll see what he does. Bo, or worse, no call. Goff was badly rocked. I think he was, and I do think that affected him the rest of the game. Chuck E. Cheese, best running quarterbacks can't even win in Jackson, so y'all, we need one. All right? Ken, Lions have a top offense with Goff built where we need to build. We can win with Goff as our quarterback. I would agree with that. Rob, I would like Rex Ryan for the defense coordinator job. Might get that wish. Brian, good morning, everyone. Get an offensive coordinator that actually runs slants and other normal offensive plays. Yeah, we'll see who they bring in there, man. Moneybags, I would love to see our team get that aggressive Ravens and Steelers style defense when we're in their prime. Yeah, we'll see if we can get that for sure. Keith, MCDC has this exclamation point. I'm sure Brad Holmes is already planning for their departure. Smart, wise men running our team. I have faith in them, as does Sheila Hampford. Woo! I'll go with that. Happy Rocks. The GOAT of all time, won 7 Super Bowls, wasn't a running quarterback. This is true. He was not a running quarterback. Tears, no fears, Lions, 13-4 next year. Lightning and Thundercats. Ho! I'll go with that. Good to see you, my friend, even though, for a second, it took me a moment to realize who it was. 1991. Doesn't make sense to AG Hate, who was supposed to make plays. Aguiye, Muhammad, Vildor. It's true. He had a lot of injuries. Non-laughers is Tyler Broski. It could be indeed. Happy trails, my brothers and sisters of the Duke Crew. We'll see you next time. Daddy Pat, yes, okay. Let's see, Keith, 13-4, maybe 14, going to the Super Bowl against Cincinnati Bengals. It's 34-27, Lions pride. Woo! I'll go with that, and good morning to you. Sound Service, Kelvin Shepard as defensive coordinator, Hank Fraley as offensive coordinator. Could be where they go. Great Lakes, 10-7 wild card. Daryl Barnes will be back. Guaranteed they love him. They do love him. Let's see. Rob, I couldn't find any confirmation of any sanctions on the officials. Yeah, I'm not aware of any. Aaron, 14-3. I'll take that. Brent, happy trails, one pride. We'll see you soon, my friend. Rob, Peyton Manning was 14-13 in the playoffs. Ooh, there's the thought. Johnny, do you think the bye week hurt them? Probably did. Ultimately, in hindsight, I know I've said it before on the show. I hate bye weeks. I'd rather be out there, same as the other team. Already got the first round jitters out of Europe from the playoffs, where you paid Washington. Washington already had that out of the way. Great Lakes bye week definitely hurt us. Dillo, what do you got? Per Shefty, Terrell Williams just left for defense coordinator in New England. He's officially gone. Thanks for that. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on of here, get ready for the rest of the day. Sorry if I couldn't get through everybody, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm trying to get through as many of these as possible. If you would be so kind before checking out, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that stuff. Hey, help the channel grow. Take care. Be kind to others. Do something nice for someone you don't know. And we'll see you guys on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all.
Happy trails.